Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Shanice. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that way you stay notified whenever I upload new videos, and welcome to the family. I know it's been a while, so the reason is I've been having a lot of technical difficulties, so that's why you guys haven't been, seeing me. I've had several people ask me, where have you been? Like, did you quit YouTube? No, I didn't quit. I just been having a lot of, technical difficulties, and of course been working a lot, but I am back. So today we will be reacting to another Nexpo video, and it's from his, series, Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. So I'm not going to talk too much. Let's get into it.
Happy Halloween! Wow, what a fun week this has been exploring all these marathon topics with you. This has been an absolute blast. And hey, I was thinking, what better way to bring this to a close while concurrently celebrating the greatest holiday of the year than presenting to you yet another installment of my favorite series on the channel. Welcome back, my friends, to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. If you're new, this is my series that dives into bite-sized and disturbing internet events and mysteries in a list-like format. It's time, on this Halloween night, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from around the internet.
Facing the camera.
Back in August, a strange event took the internet by storm. Peculiar footage was captured during the early morning of August 24th. According to a Facebook post, at 3:20 in the morning, a resident in the Sunrise Ranch subdivision in Montgomery, Texas, was awakened by their doorbell. After reviewing their home video surveillance, they observed and attached the following video and images. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office was alerted and is currently investigating the suspicious incident. The footage that they captured was this. Everyone was on immediate alert. If the odd timing being so late in the night isn't enough to alarm you, then the shackles that seem to be attached to her wrists just might. We were dead asleep in our...
Whoa. I'm not gonna lie, I thought those was like, how us ladies have those like key chain thingies around our arms, so I really didn't think nothing of it. I thought that's what it was.
Beds. My husband was awoken by the doorbell. It rang probably 20 to 30 times, one nearby resident claimed. The woman, wearing only a t-shirt and no shoes, seemed at the time to have vanished into thin air. Nobody was able to immediately track her down, and so a massive search had commenced for this mystery girl. What happened to her? Why was she crying? And why was she ringing the doorbell so many times at 3:20 in the morning?
So I don't want to, I may be wrong, but if those was really shackles and everything, maybe she escaped maybe she escaped an abduction, if I can say it right. But if she disappeared, maybe she just, kept moving, like she didn't stay in the area. Or on the bad note, maybe the abductor, found her and got her again.
On August 29th, another incident occurred in the very same subdivision. A man would take his life by suicide. This was Dennis Collins, and a suicide note that was left behind by him had confirmed that this mystery girl on the surveillance footage was in fact his girlfriend. According to a statement by Montgomery County Police, she was indeed a domestic violence victim, and according to her, the night she was out ringing doorbells, she was in great fear for her own safety. She is safe and is helping police in the ongoing investigation. However, the takeaway from this,
So basically he was doing something.
is that this could be happening to anyone, even those that live right beside you.
That's why I personally, even though where I stay, it's not, you wouldn't think, crime or anything would happen, but you never know, because just because an area is safe per se, you gotta stay on guard. Speaking of that, okay, so twice now I came home and I dropped my sister off at work, and we stay in the same apartment complex, but we just stay in different buildings. So when I dropped my sister off, the first incident that happened, I dropped her off, and I so happily was going to grab my phone, and I look up and I see, I don't know if it was a dog or a wolf, I don't know, it was a big animal that just ran through right in front of me. Now my apartment building is a gated community, so it was on the inside of the gate. I don't know how it got in, I don't know where did it go to get out, but when I saw that, I hurried up and got out of the car and picked up my nephew, so that way we could hurry up and get to the door. Now, when I was behind my sister, I kind of scared her, because she had later told me that there was some guys in the dumpster, literally just in the dumpster. I don't know if they was going through garbage or anything, but that was the first incident. The second incident was more recently, where the same exact thing, I dropped her off, and when she went, she leaned into the car to get my niece out of the car, and she so happily looked through the back driver's side window. Again, there was somebody in the dumpster. Now this time it was more creepy, because she said that they was just literally just standing there, just staring, and you could only see half of their body. That was creepy. So I'm like, all right. So I told her, get back in the car and we're going to drive around to the other side of her building and I'll drop her off there. But then I'm like, no, I started to get paranoid. So we still went to the other side of the building, but I went up with her, and then I ran to my house, because I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not here by myself. So
A post was made in the Ask Reddit sub, asking everyone what post was the creepiest that they've ever found on Reddit. While there were many notable responses, one in particular stuck out to me from a user by the name of Killing Spear X. They said this: I don't know where the post is, but I'm sure many Redditors came across it already. It was about a mother who was pushing her baby on a swing at night. When people approached her, they found out that the baby had been dead for hours and that the mother had some sort of mental breakdown or something. One notable response to this came from a user by the name of El Chapo's cousin, who claimed that either this is a lie or the area she lived in has the shittiest healthcare in America. In response to this, someone quoted them and said, apparently the latter, because this actually did happen, with a link to a news article. In Maryland, a 3-year-old boy was in fact dead due to being pushed in a swing for upwards of 43 hours. According to authorities, he was alive when his mother began pushing him in a swing on May 20th, 2015, and had remained in this very same seat for 2 days while his mother pushed him until May 22nd at 6:55 a.m. when he and his hysterical mother were found by police. The mother, allegedly, had a psychotic episode during this and unfortunately did not know what was happening for those 2 agonizing days. Since the original homicide, no charges have been filed, and the mother has since sought treatment for her bipolar disorder and depression. 43 hours. Sit back and think about this for a second. This children's swing was a death trap for this little boy, and the sheer thought of what he endured, initially thinking that it was going to be a fun and exciting time at the park, then becoming tired of the fun, then becoming thirsty, then realizing Mom isn't stopping. For hours and hours and hours, until it was over. I can only imagine the haunting scene of an oblivious mother pushing the corpse of her own son in a swing, and I really don't know how I'd react if I were ever to stumble upon such a sight in real life. Last year, I made a video that included the phenomenon of the Yay Video Games Reddit account that exhibited seemingly ordinary behavior before a switch seemed to flip, causing their comments to spiral endlessly into obscurity. In 2011, a user on Facebook by the name of Karen Catherine Waldegrave would exhibit strikingly similar behavior. Karen, being a seemingly ordinary Facebook account, would out of nowhere begin posting nonsensical and unnerving ramblings that seemed to gather widespread attention from across the internet. According to her profile, she was born in London and allegedly graduated from the University of Toronto with a PhD. She has quite a few ordinary posts, which makes this entire phenomenon that much more puzzling. On May 23rd, at around 6:30 p.m., a switch would seem to flip from within her, resulting in her replying to her own statuses over and over and over. Even stranger, the posts that she would make would be entirely out of context, and it would seem as if she's having a full conversation with herself. Statuses, shared photos, and everything else that she posted would then accumulate comment after comment after comment, and it got so bad that she sent approximately 700 replies to herself in the short span of just 12 hours. At times, there were paragraphs of nonsensical text sent within moments of each other, and it's been widely speculated that Karen simply did this for some sort of attention, or to troll with the help of either a bot or script that would do this for her. After all, she allegedly has a PhD. For all we know, she very well could have done just that. Since the attention that she's gotten, her strange case has largely faded into internet history as none other than someone with schizophrenia or a simple troll. Solved, right? Well, not so fast. It seems that, to this very day, there's still something going on with her, and I can't quite put my finger on precisely what that is. This is Karen Waldegrave today. This account seems to be a newer one of hers and still exhibits the same strange and bizarre behavior of her original account. Oddly, the page seems to be named differently, however, it still appears to be the same person. The pictures match up almost perfectly, and her education and location information seems to be an exact replica of what was shown on her original account. Now, why in the world would a troll be doing this 7 years later? We can notice here that she seems to upload many images of herself, and these, ultimately, would be nearly impossible to replicate. As someone who's graduated with a PhD, being seemingly well off and ordinary, why would she have any sort of need to still reply to herself with not only obscure text, but randomized links to various websites and YouTube videos? In her posts, we could see direct references.
Maybe just like the last woman, maybe she has a mental illness or something. That's a possibility.
To scientific works and writings, and out of context, these seem to be completely normal. Until we realize that these are all being posted within seconds of each other. Furthermore, there's always just one person that likes each of her statuses and posts, and as you might have guessed, these are all coming from her. With just 9 Facebook friends, for all we know, this could still be the work of either a bot or a troll. The strikingly fast and almost randomized posts that come from her directly support this. However, With the pictures she shares that line up directly with her original account to the T, it's extremely hard to discount the very idea that something more obscure could be going on with her to this very day. This fourth entry was only recently sent to me, and while it isn't necessarily an internet mystery, I couldn't help but include this heartbreaking tragedy. In 2015, police were called to a home in Kansas City, Kansas, regarding a domestic dispute. Upon arrival, a woman would tell them that if they looked around the property, they'd find the remains of a child by the name of Adrian Jones. Adrian's short life was spent isolated from outsiders inside of a mice-infested house where he was under the guise of, quote, homeschooling with his 6 siblings. His father and stepmother endlessly abused him, forcing him into sadistic acts of torture. The father and stepmother subjected him to eating scraps of moldy food out of the trash, leaving him tied up and submerged in a dirty swimming pool for hours at a time, beating him, strangling him, and leaving him consistently bloodied and cuffed. Even worse, the parents documented everything with surveillance cameras placed all over the house in an effort to document their acts of torture. The footage and images were only ever discovered due to Jen Hovers, their landlord, whom was given access to the killer's iCloud account by Heather Jones, Adrian's stepmother, who was directly involved in the maltreatment. Hovers accessed the account in hopes of finding pictures for Adrian's funeral. However, when she looked through what was on the account, she found much more than she'd bargained for. In it were videos and photo after photo of Adrian's deteriorating health, and many of these shots came from direct surveillance footage where he's referred to simply as the boy. It's believed that the killers were proud of their sadistic acts and enjoyed documenting Adrian's afflicted life. This is just one of those things that I hardly have any words for. The 7-year-old's short life came to an end in late 2015. His killers left him to starve to death while tied up inside of a shower stall. This, unbelievably, gets even worse though. To rid of the body, the abusers resorted to dismembering him and left his remains in a livestock pen where pigs proceeded to feed on them. The heartbreaking...
They need to rot in hell. That's all I'm gonna say on this.
Thing about this entire endeavor is that there was a suspicion of activity going on. The landlord had the suspicion for quite a while, and this likely stemmed from the fact that, now prepare for this, Adrian did tell investigators that he was being abused years prior. According to an article by kansascity.com, Adrian told
and they didn't do nothing. Why? They need to be prosecuted with them, because if they would have done something, then it's a possibility he would still be alive today.
Authorities in a 2013 interview how his father would kick him so hard in the back of the head that a little bone came out. My daddy keeps hitting me in the head and punches me in the stomach, and my mom keeps pulling on my ears and it really hurts. He tried to make a plea for his life. However, that, unfortunately, didn't seem to help. His father and stepmother, Michael and Heather Jones, have since been sentenced to life in prison with no chance for parole, and his grandmother, whom had no idea that any of this was happening, has spoken out, absolutely devastated. Adrian Jones never deserved any of this, and it's completely heartbreaking to read about this tragedy that befell him. In some images, you're able to see him wearing a shirt that says "Tough Guy," and you know what? This absolutely holds true. Adrian is a tough guy. Nobody deserves that title more than him, and I can only hope that he's since found the solace that's been overwhelmingly overdue for him. This last entry comes from a user on Reddit by the name of Demeter of New. About 5 months ago, they made a post in the RBI subreddit claiming that their significant other had gotten a new phone, and for the first time ever, she now has visual voicemail. After receiving a voicemail from a family member that day, she realized that she had several others that she'd missed. According to the post, she started going through her voicemails, typical stuff, family, bill collectors, but one voicemail, dated Friday, June 9th, 2017 at 4:38 p.m., was from a number that we do not know. It's 3 minutes long, and the area code is 480, placing the owner around the Phoenix, Arizona Valley. I've spent all day researching news where their incidents happened the afternoon of June 9th, 2017, and have exhausted my very limited research abilities. The voicemail that Demeter received was this. The OP then went forth to give an edit, claiming that the voicemail was dated a year prior. Phoenix police will be contacted, and that they've *67 the number, which merely led them to a generic voicemail greeting. A few very interesting theories have been given regarding the origins of this voicemail. A user by the name of Satellite Cookie seems to have dissected it quite well, and gave the hypothesis that the woman involved may not have even known that the phone was there. They claim that she seemed to have been screaming into her surroundings rather than into the phone, and a butt dial is genuinely possible here. The theories that they gave were that she was 1. Kidnapped and hurt. However, the weapon was not blunt enough to knock her out. She seemed to be fully conscious. However, the possibility is there that she had just woken up and realized the situation that she was in, with panic ensuing. Regarding the phone, either she was able to break free to one, it was hers, the kidnappers, or potentially another victim's. Another theory has been given by a user named Sojo3. When Satellite Cookie mentioned that it didn't sound anything like a mental breakdown, they chimed in claiming that they work at a psychiatric hospital and that this absolutely sounds like an episode that could have happened with one of their patients. Sidetracking here, if we take a look at Demeter's post history, it doesn't appear that they were using a throwaway account, and also doesn't seem like they were doing this for any sort of attention. With this in mind, the possibility that this is a hoax or attempt at an ARG are slim. However, an odd red flag here is that they never proceeded to give any sort of valuable follow-up or proof of call history. Many are still awaiting this, and it really puts this story up in limbo. The very fact that we have absolutely no idea whether this is definitively real or fake is what makes this story eerie. Either this is a hoax, someone had a genuine mental breakdown, or there really is someone out there that was captured without ever being able to escape.
Alright guys, so that's the end of my video. If you have anything that you would like to request for me to react to, go ahead and put them down in the comment section below, and I definitely will make a video for you, and I will continue making videos for you, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.